Hi friends, Namaste, good evening. After a long time, మళ్ళీ మీ ముందుకు వచ్చినాం. Friends, most of our staff and friends, they are requested to take JIB classes. So, JIB classes concepts క్లియర్ చేస్తూ బుక్ రివ్యూ అనేటటువంటిది మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ బికాజ్ ఈచ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ పేపర్ in the book is very important. Friends, all of you must buy this book, Principles and Practice of Banking, and other two books also. At the first we will discuss about each and every chapter in Principles and Practice of Banking. Before discuss about Principles and Practice of Banking, for cracking of JIB, the first and foremost thing is you must very well versed with the concepts. From scratch level, you must thorough with the concepts. Then definitely you can clear JIB, even CIB also. Apart from that, after learning all the concepts, it is better to review page by page in the given textbook. Don't go for any other materials. The textbook is very much sufficient to clear JIB exam as well as to clear all your doubts related to the banking. Friends, I am trying to explain the JIB concepts and also review the book page by page so that it will helps a lot to you and for others also. Friends, in JIB syllabus, if you go through the syllabus, it actually consisting of 4 modules. One is Indian financial system, and second one is functions of banks, and third one is banking technology, and the fourth one is support services, marketing of banking services or products. See, for any kind of examination there must be an analysis on how to crack that exam, how to win in that exam. So that friends, we are very well versed with the banking technology and marketing of banking services and products. Since we are tech savvy, we know very well about the technology in the banks and also the way of marketing of products, either retail products or MSME products, whatever it may be. So these two you know very well. Now coming to refresh these two things as well as to learn new things in the financial system. Now we will start about module A, that is Indian financial system. Indian financial system. In this Indian financial system, it is having 11 chapters. Indian financial system, banking regulation, and Reserve Bank of India rules and regulations, and capital market, and equity market, and also this Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, and Basel framework is there, and alliances, mergers and consolidation is there, and recent developments in Indian financial system. These are the basic concepts covered under Indian financial system. Now today I want to give a brief outline about Indian financial system in line with our JIB concept, because Indian financial system is very vast area, but what content is required to clear the JIB, today we will discuss that much content only. Okay, if any kind of doubt is there, you may please mention the same in the comment box, so that I am trying to clarify the doubts. Okay, now we will see about Indian financial system. The Indian financial system, actually why the financial system is needed. See, there must be a system is required for every activity. Why system is required? Because at one place there may be a chances of surplus, and at another place there may be a chances of deficit. What is this surplus and what is this deficit? See, suppose if you want to construct a house, then the first and foremost thing is the leveling of the land. In this leveling of the land, suppose at one side there may be a very large amount of sand is there, and at the another side there is a requirement of sand to fill the gaps. So there you systematically manage the entire sand, that means leveling of that entire area. In the similar fashion, in the financial field, one person is having a surplus amount of money, another person is having a want of money, and some another person doesn't know what to do with that money. So to solve all these problems, there must be a system is required. So what is that system? What's that system? That system is nothing but it's a financial system. This financial system, what it can do? It controls and manages the surplus amount or surplus capital to investor side and those who need money. అంటే ఎవరికైతే డబ్బులు అవసరం అవుతాయో, ఆ అవసరమైనటువంటి వాళ్ళకి ఎవరి దగ్గర అయితే ఎక్కువైపోయినాయో వాళ్ళకి షిఫ్ట్ చేయడం, అలాగే ఈ ఎవరికైతే డబ్బులు ఎక్కువైపోయినాయో వాళ్ళు షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి, మరి డబ్బులు ఎక్కువైపోయిన వాళ్ళు పెట్టుబడి పెడతారు కాబట్టి, ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ రూపంలో పెడతారు కాబట్టి, ఈ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ రూపంలో పెట్టుబడి పెట్టినప్పుడు దే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ సమ్ రిటర్న్. సో ఆ రిటర్న్స్ ఇస్తూ అవతల వ్యక్తి తాలూకా అవసరాలను తీరుస్తూ యువతల వ్యక్తులకు రిటర్న్స్ ఇవ్వడం, దిస్ ఈజ్ ద మేజర్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఆఫ్ ది ఇండియన్ ఫినాన్షియల్ సిస్టమ్. దిస్ ఇండియన్ ఫినాన్షియల్ సిస్టమ్ బేసికల్లీ controlled by three authorities. One is the controlled by very well known name, that is RBI. That is all the public money and all the banks and all the financial institutions are controlled by the one central banking authority, that is the one control mechanism, and all the investments in equity and debt are controlled by another controlled mechanism, that is capital market regulating authority, that is SEBI. And the third one is all the insurance related activities and insurance policies and insurance claims, everything whatnot, all insurance related activities are governed by or controlled by Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. and recently the fourth one, that is pension funds. Nowadays there is a lot of what you call people's interest on pensions. So pension fund regulatory authority. So basically we are having three authorities to control the entire financial system. One is central banking controlling authority and capital market controlling authority, and the third one insurance regulatory authority. Of course the fourth one is also pension fund regulatory authority. So what's the central banking authority? That is nothing but RBI. RBI can control the entire monetary system in the country. And the second one is SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. The duty of SEBI is like RBI in parallel with RBI. That is nothing but it can control and manages and make restrictions on equity and debt market. See, equity and debt market is completely different from our regular banking financial system. And the third one, IRDAI, which is Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, which regulates the insurance policies activity. Now we will see about central banking authority, that is RBI functions. Before discuss about RBI functions, we must know one concept called interest rate mechanism. What is this interest rate mechanism? Suppose if you want money to purchase something, definitely you will approach a nearest bank. Bank will finance to you for a certain amount with a specific interest rate. How the bank calculate that interest rate? Bank calculate that interest rate based on the assets liability management and also the RBI's interest rate. అంటే ఏమవుతుంది అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి బ్యాంక్ మీకు అప్పు ఇవ్వాలి. బ్యాంక్ మీకు అప్పు ఇవ్వాలి అంటే మీకు అప్పు ఇస్తుంది కాబట్టి కొంత ఇంట్రెస్ట్ని వసూలు చేస్తుంది. ఆ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏ విధంగా డిసైడ్ చేస్తారు అంటే, బ్యాంక్ మీకు అప్పు ఇవ్వాలంటే బ్యాంకు దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఉండాలి. బ్యాంక్ దగ్గర డబ్బులు ఉండాలి అంటే బ్యాంకుకి డబ్బులు ఎవరెవరు ఇస్తారో ఆలోచించండి ఒకసారి. ఒకటి, డిపాజిట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ది పబ్లిక్, అండ్ ద సెకండ్ వన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ అమౌంట్ లెంట్ బై ది ఆర్బీఐ. ఆర్బీఐ నుండి డబ్బు తెచ్చుకుంటుంది. ఆర్బీఐ నుండి కొంత డబ్బు తెచ్చుకుంటుంది, ఆ డబ్బుల్ని మీకు ఇస్తుంది. లేదా కస్టమర్స్ నుండి డిపాజిట్స్ రూపంలో డబ్బులు సేకరిస్తుంది.